Hello and welcome to FPL Bandwagons Game Week 5. Now, it's been a while since we've had Fantasy League. It's been a 2-week gap thanks to international football, which it's been a period of mostly good news for the home nations, especially Wayne Rooney. We've also had the transfer window where, incredibly, against all odds, the summer-long transfer sagas of De Gea, Stones, Austin, Berahino, none of them, they all stayed. None of them left, which was a surprise. As I say, it's been 2 weeks since we've had fantasy football, and it's been a disastrous season so far by and large. The big hitters who you can normally rely on 4 weeks in still haven't delivered. Last week was another blank for Aguero, Hazard, Sanchez, Rooney. Meanwhile, the likes of Dusan Tadic and Scott Sinclair chip in with braces. Tim Howard scored 11 for Everton and a clean sheet at Tottenham. There has been a few price drops, many of them, for the likes of De Gea, Kabay, Jagielka, Ozil, Ivanovic, but we'll be focusing on the price rises, the bandwagons, the people who are being transferred in by the thousands and the hundreds of thousands who are in form and have the fixtures to match up with that. So first of all, Ayew. The Swansea midfielder has been a revelation since arriving on a free from Marseille. He scored 3 goals in 4 games and also did a beautiful assist for Bafétimbi Gomis against Manchester United. And it's because of that despite Gomis scoring 1 more goal, Ayew actually outscores him in total because he's sweeping up all the bonuses. He's had 10 shots inside the box in just 4 games. He's got fantastic fixtures coming up, certainly Watford this weekend. So I'm saying get on this bandwagon. He's an outstanding form and an exciting team, and he has the fixtures coming up to suggest that this run of form should continue. Callum Wilson, the Bournemouth striker and England under-21 international, he's costing just 5.8 million right now, but his ownership has risen sharply to 21%. Basically, going into, he had 2 blanks to start off with, and then followed up with a hat-trick at West Ham, which automatically took him to the top of the striker rankings. Followed it up with an overhead kick against Leicester. His 20 league goals fired Bournemouth to promotion last season, and his side had scored a whopping 98 goals. So he's the focal point of a very attacking team who now has the form, the confidence to keep going. As well as that, he has the fixtures of Norwich, Sunderland, Stoke and Watford just in the next 4. So this shows no sign of relenting. He's also on penalties. So for me, this is a clear bandwagon to get on if you're not already on it. Pedro, 20 points in just 2 games. He already has 15% ownership, but the important thing is that his price has been frozen until this weekend. That means he's already on quite a high percentage and it still remains at 9.5 million. A lot of people have been disillusioned by Eden Hazard's loss in form and have done the straight swap. Hazard down to Pedro, saves a couple of £1 million, and you're getting a player who's also seemingly on corners. He's got 5 bonus points in those 2 games, but I would personally stay off the bandwagon just for the moment. I would wait and see, because he's clearly quality, but he does have tough games coming up against Everton and Arsenal, and Chelsea themselves are a mess. So I would say wait and see. Now, of course, the game week team. You can see now the team I picked last week on my blog, Gegenpress. Didn't do particularly well. It should have, certainly in terms of fixtures, I was expecting a haul of a week, and it was just failing to deliver. Although there were a couple of nice defensive returns there. And the team I've gone for this week, it really relies on the same 2 or 3 teams here. But you got Fabianski, Bellerin, Kolarov, Cresswell, solid midfield. Harry Kane hasn't scored a single Premier League goal yet, but not only does he have a fairly easy game against Sunderland, who are all over the place, but he's just scored 2 in 2 cameos for England, so his confidence is back up. He's remembered where the net is. Now, captaincy choice, by default, it's always Aguero. The fact that he hasn't scored in 2 games could be concerning if it was anyone else, but it's Sergio Aguero. Do you really see him going 3 games without scoring? Okay, so thanks very much for watching. I'll be back next week.